band will be, as I said, playing one of the country's best-known hymns, Abide With Me, and they'll be doing it later for us as well.
Yes, but before that performance, Giles has the story of what has made this anthem so enduring.
Sung at FA Cup finals for the last 87 years, Abide With Me is one of football's oldest rituals. But why, at an exciting sporting event, do we sing this Victorian hymn about death? Far from Wembley, at the Devon fishing town of Brixham, church bells chime a familiar tune. It was here in 1847 that vicar and hymn writer Henry Lyte wrote Abide With Me. He was a sick man, suffering from tuberculosis. I'm retracing his faltering steps with hymn expert Leon Litvak.
He was aware that time was running out. He had increasing breathing problems. He was spending more and more time on the continent of Europe in order to try to improve his health, but it was all to no avail. And on that final Sunday, his family feared for his life, but he rose to the challenge and he wanted to deliver that one final sermon to his congregation.
He pushed himself.
He pushed himself. He once said that he would rather wear out than rust out.
Having survived the sermon, Lyte retired to the house where he'd written the words and the original tune to his final hymn.
This is one of the original manuscripts of Abide With Me.
And what exactly does Abide With Me mean?
Abide means to stay. It means to be my friend unto the end.
And at the end of his life, just reading from a rather beautiful 1800s edition of the hymn, swift to its close ebbs out life's little day, earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. He's conscious of his own mortality?
Conscious of his own mortality, he's also conscious of the place in which he's writing this hymn, and you can hear the ebb and flow of the tide. And he gives a copy to his daughter, and a few weeks later, he was dead. The tune is something that really strikes at the heart. But this is the tune that was written later by a man called William Monk. He had a daughter who died. And after that experience, he wrote this wonderful tune.
So there was sorrow in both their lives.
There was sorrow in both their lives.
It's a beautiful hymn here in a church, but why on earth do they sing it at the FA Cup final?
That's all in tradition. In 1927, King George V attended the FA Cup final, and it was sung on that occasion because they knew that it was the King's favourite hymn.
But why has the tradition continued?
Football, of course, is about competition, and it's about intense rivalry. But in that atmosphere of 100,000 people, we have a moment where they are united, all welling up with the same feeling. It's very powerful.
Henry Lyte beat death at its own game. He may have died relatively young, but he left something beautiful and lasting that lives on.
A beautiful